Hello family, happy Easter. I hope you're having a good one with the family, wherever you are. So before I dig deep into our video today, 65% of our viewers who watch our videos, both on YouTube and TikTok, they haven't yet subscribed, they haven't yet followed us so that we can enjoy greater content. Would you do us a favor and hit that subscribe button so that you can get notified on when we drop new videos, when we drop like a lesson that you can learn from the guests that we'll be inviting. So welcome back to Bram Bilon podcast on our weekly episode. I'm your favorite host, Bram Bilon. Uh, I was talking to a man yesterday and he told me that whatever you speak is as a result of how exposed a person is, right? And being exposed is as a result of so many factors actually. We can talk about networking, we can talk about exposure, we can talk about environment, the actual environment that you're into right now. Yeah, it can determine actually how you behave, how you're going to speak, the quality of the points that you're going to be giving out. Now let me break it down in this way. Most of the times we have been invited into rooms where we were not seen, we were not heard, we didn't connect because we lacked some of the skills that are required, to connect with that with that one person in the event. Maybe for example, you're invited to a party event, and in that party event, it held someone who is someone of higher caliber that you could want to connect, that you could want to make a network relationship that you could leverage on in the near future. Some of my friends tells me that when you're networking, you should network with a person who you can leverage whatever that you both want to share on the table. And now, on matters to networking, you should also have that one question that you're willing to ask that person that you want to network with. You can't. Let me tell you about questions. Questions, they make you unforgettable to that person that you want to network with. That's one thing that I've realized, that I've experienced, and I'm a living testimony to that. The type of questions that you bring to the table, that you bring to the circle, they make you unforgettable. That's the idea. That's the Siri, to be clear. Because when you ask a very meaningful and question which can lead to a sustainable relationship, why would one person not give you a chance to network with you and to walk with you on that journey? On building relationships or networking with people, it might seem a little bit hard or difficult to people who are not so much into the social grouping and all that. But let me tell you, at one point in life, you're going to reach, and you're going just to come out of your comfort zone, because I've come to realize being an introvert shouldn't be like a hindrance for you to network with other people. As long as you want that person, as long as that you want to work with that person in that area that they are into, take the shot, ask that one question, even if it's in an elevator. I was reading, was it Diary of a CEO or Think and Grow Rich? Well, I guess one of the books there, and they were talking about the 3 minutes elevator pitch. You need to learn that one. If you want to really connect, to network with people, learn how to pitch your idea within 3 minutes or 3 seconds, so that you can remain unforgettable, so that you can remain seen and heard and connect with people so much. I've realized that many people out here, they have great ideas, they have great inventions, but the networking aspect is not there. Yeah, the networking aspect is not there. So if you're among the person that you feel like I need to level up my game, I need to connect with this person. Consider that one question that you want to ask that person to give you a chance. Let's talk about exposure. Exposure is very, very expensive, and how exposed you are is going to show. It's directly proportional to how you talk, how you do your stuff. It shows how actually exposed you are to the system, to the not only the system, to the world, how things are run, to the culture. That's basically the stuff. Yeah. A person who is not that exposed to a lot of opportunities, not only opportunities, but also to people who can help him, it's going to be seen by either one, behaviors. Number two, we can talk about how you speak. How you speak truly talks about it. It shows the type of person that you actually are and how you think. Let me break it down. Exposure, it's like exposure. What it does to your mind, it elastify your minds to think in a broad way, to be an open-minded person. And you start seeing ideas in a very different angle. That's basically what exposure does to you. Because let me jot down one point here. You see, exposure. The mind is elastic. What does that mean? The mind being elastic, it means that your mind can learn, your mind can unlearn things, your mind can relearn some stuff that maybe you learned a year ago, but you don't remember right now, so you need to relearn. So if right now I start hanging out with people who are so much exposed into the system, how the Kenyan system is run, actually, let me tell you, I'm going to be exposed to a certain level where I'm going to understand how the presidential cities is run, and all those calibers and all that. Yeah. So exposure is it elastifies your mind. It teaches you how things are run, and also it helps you to understand some of the things that you should do, at what place, at what time, and with the right people. So have you heard me that? Have you ever heard about show me yourself and I will show you your future? This is so interesting in this way, because the average of the 5 person that you work with, it's your result. If, for example, your circle is made up of some top league elite people, people who think sharply, people who, you can joke, like you can talk about some stuff, like you can joke about some things, that circle, that environment that you're into right now can either build, can either demolish you, and also it can keep your life at a mediocre life. A mediocre life is an average life. You're not moving, you're not going down, you're not capsizing, right? But if you want to be intentional about becoming as a person, you need to consider actually your circle, your environment. Because your environment determines how far you think. It determines what you're going to do at what situations. It determines how you react to certain situations. And also, there's a certain types of environment. The different types of environment comes with different type of opportunities. For example, right now you're in the middle life. Let's say, for example, from 20 years to around 35 years. That age comes with a different environment. That means that environment comes with a different opportunities, different perspective of lives, and also different, different people. You get the point? So if you're actually into that, consider that one. And the journey of becoming, it's not a simple thing. You need to grow, you need to, and change is inevitable. You can't escape, you can't escape change, manze. You cannot. Those are some of the toughest things that as a human being you go through. You know, but if you're really intentional about becoming, if you're really intentional about growing that thing that you feel that is inside you to become much better, much greater, you you'll actually consider your environment. You're going to network with the right people, and you're going to put yourself in places where you're going to be exposed well enough to handle some certain types of situations. Before we close this down, you need to ask yourself, who am I becoming? What's the type of mindset that I want to build, so that I can know the type of networks that I need, the type of environment that I need to place myself into, and also the type of exposure that you want to place yourself into, because exposure, you place yourself into some certain type of exposure. It's not a miracle, something or something, like it's you placing yourself into those exposure opportunities that are going to give you some sort of exposure. Ask yourself some type of question that in 5 years, which is the type of person that I myself I want to become. If it's a gift that is in you, what type of people or what type of number that I want to affect with this type of gift that I have, right? These are some very serious questions that you need to ask yourself, so that you can know actually what you want, and the type of things that you actually want. See you in the next one. I love you guys. Hit that subscribe button down there. Brown Billion Podcast, we are out.